Go! Hello everyone, and welcome back to Cosplay Tea Time, a fun community of cosplayers bringing you podcast recordings featuring fandoms, animes, the art of cosplaying, colors, and sometimes we like to talk about conventions. So we've done a long and lengthy podcast about conventions, how to prepare, and now we're kind of breaking off to smaller or perhaps larger conventions that are available out there in the cosplay community. So today we're going to be talking about a very popular convention known as KatsuCon. Before we get into all of that, I want to introduce our lovely guest here with me today. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, my name is Fry. My pronouns are they, she. You can also call me Kat. My social media handle, is pretty much everywhere as Katsumi Cosplay, Katsumi Cosplay. I also do photography as well of cosplayers, and that is under Katsumi Photos, which I have a link tree, but I am most active on my Instagram account, which is again Katsumi Cosplay, and I have been cosplaying almost 10 years now. I started in the summer of 2014, and I started really doing craftsmanship and competing with costumes after the pandemic 2021. So yeah, I'm very excited to be here. KatsuCon happens to be one of my favorite conventions, and I am also cosplaying a casual version of Leo from Promare, the movie. So I'm happy to be here.
Excited and happy to have you as well, so thank you for attending. And as always, my name's Jen. I'm the founder of Cosplay Tea Time as well as today's host. I go by she, her pronouns. Where am I these days? I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at JenPeardCosplays45. And I'm also cosplaying as Sakura Kinomoto from Cardcaptor Sakura. So even got my little birdie wand here. So got a lot of cool stuff. Alrighty, so today we're just going to do one icebreaker question, which is always a favorite. What was the first cosplay you have ever done?
So my first cosplay was actually Nora Valkyrie from Volume 1 of Ruby. My little stick was that I memorized her opening monologue. So I would go around, and if people asked me, I would recite her monologue from I guess you would call it, I can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched Ruby, but her first little opening introductions with Rin. Yeah. And the people, I used to get so into it, people actually refer to me as Nora sometimes because that's how they met me.
Aww. So I love the little orange-haired ball of energy because she was my first cosplay as well. So, but I did volumes 4 through 6. So the Mistral outfit was my very first one. So yeah, she was just a simple, pleasant cosplay.
I know I did her beacon uniform out, or not her beacon uniform, but I did her battle outfit from when she was in Beacon. I did her PJ outfit, and then I did her workout outfit, which was like literally seen for 2 seconds in season 3. It was either season 2 or season 3, but I threw that together, and I had it's actually during my first KatsuCon, I had a dumbbell that I tried to make out of yoga balls in a PVC pipe. It didn't really work out. It kept falling apart during the con, but I do have pictures somewhere on the internet. It might be on my old Tumblr account of me with my dumbbell at KatsuCon.
So. Gotta dust it off. Gotta find those photos. It'd be so much fun. Yeah, it's so much fun getting to cosplay such a bubbly little character. Love it, love it. Alrighty, so we're actually gonna wrap up our icebreakers here, and we're just gonna jump right into today's theme since I know that's why a lot of us are joining. today because KatsuCon, at the time that this video gets posted, it's about 3 to 4 months away, so it's coming up very, very quickly. KatsuCon is usually about mid-February, whenever the event is held, over the weekend. Typically.
I was going to say, usually it's the weekend sort of around Valentine's Day. I believe this year it is before Valentine's Day, but usually when Valentine's Day, it is, if Valentine's Day falls on the beginning of the week, it's before. If Valentine's Day falls at the end of the week, it's after.
Yeah, somewhere in there. So lots of hearts and love and stuff. So I'm trying to think. It's I just lost my train of thought now. And then KatsuCon, it's usually held in Maryland, National Harbor. There we go. That's the place. National Harbor in some center. You're probably gonna correct me. I'm so sorry. Like I had it in my brain, it just left.
It's the Gaylord Hotel and Convention Center.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, so that's the place, that's the time frame that it's held around. So we're gonna dive right into stories and experiences to hopefully help you all prepare financially, mentally, and to also help avoid the dreaded con crunch as well. So we're gonna go and start with our first question, which is, how many times have you attended KatsuCon?
So I think my first KatsuCon was 2016, and I will have to back check this. I do know that it was the last time it was like super cold. It was also the KatsuCon where people joked that Fire Nation attacked because we had to evacuate the whole hotel because there was a fire, I believe, in the maid cafe. So this will be, since the pandemic happened, I believe 2024 will be either my 7th or 8th year going to KatsuCon.
Nice, awesome. It's a lot of times. So, let's see. I have not attended KatsuCon. I think I wanted to one time, but then kind of backed out of it because it is a national harbor, and then like trying to like pay for like hotels and all that stuff. So it just wasn't the best timing at that point. So I think instead during that weekend I did like live streams at home because like I had like my characters planned and everything. Like I had all the cosplay, the cosplay piles of all the clothes and accessories. So I'm just like, I'll just stay home and do like live streams and get into cosplay and stuff and all that. So, but I'm hoping one day to eventually go, hopefully with a group of friends or something, and get to dress up and see the sights. So, alrighty, next up we have, how do you prepare for KatsuCon?
So my KatsuCon prep usually is very different from other people's. So basically, my KatsuCon prep technically starts pretty much the day after KatsuCon ends, and I like to plan groups early. So if there's a group or something that my friends want to do with me, I will have them tell me ahead of time because I am very bad. Last KatsuCon, I did 12 costumes over the course of 4 days, and one of them was six cosplay days. And so I always tell my friends to make sure that they get with me in advance because a lot of times I am planning my con a year in advance. It's just in general. But really a lot of, besides planning that, whenever KatsuCon drops the hotel block, especially for Gaylord, I'm usually room head, so I have to stay on top of that. And if there's any like big things, like I know I'm trying to do the Cowbutt Crunchies cosplay gala this year, so I started planning a lot of what I was doing for that well in advance. And then the bulk of my prep happens after my con in November. So it's usually second week of November, I start planning out, okay, what do I need to buy? Trying to make sure I buy it before I think the third week of January. That is a lot to do with, Asian New Year, where the companies aren't making stuff, their workers are home, so it gets delayed by even further. And then doing that, making sure I try and set up a time frame for the costumes that I'm making. I say try because not everything happens the way you want it to.
Yeah.
And then, as the time gets closer, usually and each photographer has a different setup. But usually again, in that time frame, I'm keeping an eye on photographers. Sometimes the ones that I want to work with open their bookings sooner or later, just depending on what they have available. And then probably like 1 to 2 weeks before, I make sure that if I'm doing like group shoots, or I make sure I have talked with the people, make sure I set up a location where we're meeting. If my friends want to meet up, I make sure that we communicate that before we get to the Gaylord, because unfortunately the Gaylord, it does not have the best internet and does not have the best cell service. So a lot of people complain about not being able to find their friends. But if you really want to find your friends, you have to make time beforehand. And then the convention happens. I drive to me and my friend commute to the conventions. I know people fly in to the convention as well. And then we just try and enjoy our time there. So that is kind of just a general year prep for Katsu. There are little details that I do like have to pay attention to. Again, the hotel room, again, photographers, because a lot of photographers will book up like the day they open bookings. But other than that, it's just basically, do I have my cosplays? I will actually write down a timetable of where I need, if I'm doing specific things, where I need to be at that time, and what outfit I will be wearing. And I share that with my friends. So if they have something that they need me to do, like if they want to go to lunch or if they want to hang out, I can figure out, okay, well, I'm running this big fandom photo shoot at this time, and I have a private shoot at this time. Maybe we can meet up afterwards. So just a lot of scheduling and making sure, like, if I do want to meet people, that I make time in my schedule to do so.
No, I applaud you for that. That is a well-oiled machine. You got it down. Like,
Yeah.
all the scheduling and preparing. So, but like a year out, that's a long time, but you're doing a lot.
It's also a me thing, because this year I have done, I've done 5. I'm doing 1 more. I did 6, and 3 of those were back-to-back months. So I was just like, I need time to know what people want me to do with them, so that I can make sure that I am putting my best foot forward for the group.
Love that. Oh, thinking ahead. Love it. Alrighty. I'm trying to think. I haven't really necessarily prepared for KatsuCon. I mean, the one weekend. I think maybe it was 2022. I don't know. The years are blurring by together too much. But I remember I at least had my outfits planned a month in advance and stuff, and setting up all the piles, accessories, everything that I would need. So I'm definitely a month in advance type of person, either the month or so ahead of time. So make sure you got tickets, hotel reservations, get your list together. Alrighty. This next one's always a fun question, which is, what is the general price for attending KatsuCon? So this can include parking, tickets, getting ready, how much cash to bring to like Artist Alley / buy stuff, etc.
Okay. I have to preface this by saying I stay in the Gaylord every year. So my budget for tickets and everything is like $500 to $600. However, that includes my hotel room, which is usually around $300 per person. That includes parking. I think I checked; it's $36 a day, but sometimes that can change. I've seen it as high as $60 a day for the Gaylord parking. And that also includes like food, whether or not I'm paying photographers, that I could actually bump it up a little bit depending on which photographers I'm paying. So it varies. I know I am a more prolific cosplayer, and KatsuCon is where I get a lot of my content for social media. So if you're not doing if you're not doing paid private shoots, it may be a little lower. It also may be lower if you're not staying in a hotel that's on National Harbor side. I believe KatsuCon does book out all of the hotels on National Harbor side, and people have to stay in Arlington. So I don't know what the going rate for hotel rooms, but then you have to factor in if you're Ubering over there. Excuse me. So yeah, and then food. I think last year, kind of, I ate a lot of the convention center food. It's good quality food, and it's convention center prices. It's like $14-15, but they had salmon and quinoa out one day. They have your general Starbucks and pastries and stuff like that too. But they had like pizza, and I believe they had like chicken wings in kind of the store area too. So it's decent food. Gaylord also has, I believe, one restaurant on its premises, and of course, with it being National Harbor, you can always find food outside of the Gaylord within walking distance. I think the farthest I've walked was about 2 blocks, but that was for really good crab cake. So there is definitely options and prices for everybody who deliver as well. So
Nice. Yes. So that was what we are gonna get into later on, the food and stuff, but maybe it's all good. You can always bring it back up if need be. But let's see. So I did a little bit of researching beforehand, and the KatsuCon website has their registration available. It's very well laid out. The one thing that definitely stands out is the fact that children 7 years and younger are referred to as chibi, and they can get in for free. But mostly focusing on adults. There's three tiers? 3 tiers?
here.
Okay, so 3 tiers. One of them just passed, but the one that's current like pre-registration is for adults. It's between like $75 to $85 for tickets. This goes until February 15th of 2024. And then at the door, or excuse me, nope, I lost it. Oh no. I lost my train of thought. I keep doing this. I'm not used to recording on a weekday, so let me see. Okay, so 3 different tiers. I know one just passed. There's one going on right now. It's between like $75 to $80. That'll increase whenever you pay at the door. So make sure that you get your tickets early. There's also VIP selections. So definitely be sure to check out the website. It'll definitely be more accurate. And of course, this is only prices right now. I don't know, like in the future, if prices change, but I would definitely check beforehand. So either whenever you see this recording, or whenever you think about it, go check it out.
Also, forgot to mention that the prices that are online right now for pre-registration, I believe last time I checked it was 75, but I believe there was a price increase recently. But KatsuCon is doing batch shipping this year. They have not done in the past. And I believe it is an additional $15 for tracked shipping within the United States. And it's not optional. You have to get it shipped if you don't order by the beginning of February. It might be the beginning of January. Again, have some accurate information. So just to make anybody who sees this aware is that the prices online do not include the $15 shipping fee.
Okay. It's good to know. That's why we're doing this. So folks are aware. Okay, so I think that covers pretty much all the pricing that we can always come back to later as well. So I'm going to ask another question, which is how crowded is KatsuCon?
So I consider KatsuCon a large convention in a small convention. So just to kind of lay out how I see KatsuCon, when you enter the Gaylord, I kind of break it up into three kind of different spots. There's the convention center side, there is the atrium side, and then there's outdoors. Atrium, I meant the Gaylord side. The Gaylord side I break up into two additional spots, which is the gazebo level and the atrium level. The most crowds you are going to get is going to be the atrium level of the Gaylord side, followed by the Gaylord side. You are definitely going to bump elbows if you can't deal with someone being in your space. It is probably not good for you to go on the Gaylord side. And then, of course, and then once the light goes down, sunsets, because a lot of photographers only do natural lighting. I believe KatsuCon has a policy against freestanding light that most photographers use in that night. I would say that the gazebo level is going to be your most crowded. Again, if you can't deal with I would say being around people who have been consuming alcohol, I would stay away from the gazebo level after 10 o'clock. But KatsuCon is definitely going to be one of those cons where you are going to be literally right up against someone. That's unfortunately just the nature of this. People come for the photography, and it can clog up the hallways a lot.
Yeah, it's good to know in case anybody has like fear of like crowded places or get uncomfortable and uneasy, that they're made aware of that. So okay. Let's try to bring the fun back with what kind of activities are there in KatsuCon? I have a feeling since it's a big convention, there's probably a lot to do.
So one of the main things, of course, there's the usual con fair panels, artist alley, dealers hall. One of my favorite things at KatsuCon, and one that I have to step back from a little bit, is doing large fandom gatherings. So I used to run large fandom gatherings for KatsuCon for probably 5 out of the 7 years that I went. There was one, the Adventure Zone, D&D podcast. I used to run that group photo shoot. Of course, there are always going to be your private shoots, your private groups that you do. For me personally, besides doing the private shoots, I just like hanging with my friends at KatsuCon. Um, a lot of people will say that there is an issue with elitism at KatsuCon, especially when it comes to cosplay. I haven't seen too much of that, but I can keep to my circles a lot. Uh, so I I just enjoy the general feel of KatsuCon as just someone who likes to work with my friends all the time. My main mission at any convention is to see pretty cosplays and talk to people about how they made those. And KatsuCon is definitely a more cosplay centric convention um, during the day. Now, when it becomes night, it turns into a little bit of a party situation. But if you're only going to the day and you keep to your room at night, then and I don't have problems with the party people. So, but if don't necessarily like crowds of sweaty drunk people, is probably best to only attend KatsuCon during the day.
Okay.
But yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
Lots of good stuff to do. So, but yeah, I definitely know, like, the gazebo, you see a lot of photos and videos there. I'm sure there's fun places to eat, the photo shoots and everything. So, it's probably a lot to do. Probably a lot of sightseeing around, like, National Harbor as well. So, get to explore a little bit of
Yeah,
history.
there's they have a Ferris wheel, and I think KatsuCon gets discounts for the Ferris wheel. So I know a lot of people go do the Ferris wheel as well.
It's so fun. I don't know why. That just made me feel so like warm inside. Like, oh, it's so cute to be like dressed in cosplay in a Ferris wheel. There you go. That's my goal one day. Even though I don't like heights, I will try it. Let's see. So we touched briefly on this a little bit earlier, which was the food situation, of course. But was there anything else you wanted to add about food prices? Maybe anything about like
There's,
allergies?
there's no lack of food,
Oh,
and so there is going to be food that everybody enjoys. I was going to say that like I said, I usually go do crab cakes. I know there's not Mongolian, Mandarin. There's Mandarin, excuse me. Like right across from the Gaylord. Uh, all the hotels have their own little restaurant in there. And they have I think it's like a sports bar type thing inside the Gaylord, as well as their kind of like grab and go situation. So I would say that there's going to be food for everyone, and even if there's not something at a restaurant, there's the CVS that everybody at KatsuCon goes to, kind of close by. So there is also food that you like prepackaged food you can pick up there.
thanks. I didn't think about that, like CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, little
Mm-hmm.
stores nearby that folks could go to. I didn't think of that. But that's why we talk, so we can bring it up and everything. So yeah, crab cake sounds so good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Um, and then we've been talking about this a lot. Are there places to do photo shoots at KatsuCon?
Yes. So I would say that the main three places that people do photo shoots are the gazebo down in the atrium, and then there's again an outdoor space that has a little bit more maneuverability. I would suggest that if you really want to get KatsuCon gazebo photos,
Mhm.
you kind of have to be at the gazebo before the break of dawn. So I think one year I was down there at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then last year I was down there at like 5 o'clock to do a photo shoot. 5 o'clock Friday morning. Yeah. Just because as soon as people get there, and as soon as the con gets like super busy, you don't really get a chance because during most of the day it gets taken for photo shoots, like fandom gatherings. So they'll block it up for the fandom gatherings, and then as soon as you hit the night, a lot of people will just kind of take it for themselves, and then you also have to contend with uh, like just a large crowd of people who have to kneel. So that's why we always say the kind of the crack of dawn is the best time is to guarantee those photo shoots. And of course, that may be pushed back again because the more people who know about the time frame, the messier it gets.
We're telling all the secrets.
Yeah.
No, so not only that, but like February, I mean, it's still kind of darkish around 5 a.m., like in this area, so
Yeah.
you also gotta prepare for that too, so hopefully you can get all your stuff, get your cosplays, makeup, your caffeine, get it all. Yeah, definitely set up like the night before, like have everything ready to go. Good night's sleep. Okay, let's see. So now we have two more questions, which is the next one being, what is your favorite memory of KatsuCon?
Hard one. I think my favorite memory of KatsuCon probably again would have to be running one of my photo shoots, the Adventure Zone McElroy brother podcast photo shoot. And I always remember this as somebody said when the biggest photo shoot I ran, I think someone said you would look at this photo shoot and not understand what's going on because there were people who were cosplaying. And just to put it in perspective, the McElroy brothers do a lot of podcasts. So the Adventure Zone was their big one. It's a D&D tabletop podcast. So there was people dressed as wizards, next to people dressed as Mothman, next to someone who was dressed as one of the brothers. So it was just like someone told me that if you took a look at this and didn't know that it was just McElroy brother products, you would not know what was going on. And I think that is funny and also absolutely true for what I was doing, and it was probably one of the best memories I have made at KatsuCon thus far.
Yeah, does sound like a lot of fun. It's just chaos, cosplay
Yeah.
chaos everywhere. Love it. Let's see. So I've not been KatsuCon as I stated before, but yeah, just hoping one day to go. Hopefully, make some memories, meet some awesome people, whether new or folks that I've talked to online for a while, and hopefully get to see all the cosplays. That's what I want to see. All the pretty cosplays. Find more Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood stuff. So, let's see. So, our last question for the day, evening, whatever time zone this is. What other information slash advice do you have for viewers out there about KatsuCon? And also to tacking on, are there like places where like a person can rest, like if they're feeling overwhelmed? Is there like anywhere that like a person can kind of go and just like sit quietly for a few minutes?
So in regards to kind of the quieter areas, I would say that there's no like con sanctioned like quiet room because I know that there I know a lot of cons have sort of had that in the past. I have seen it at various conventions and whatnot. Um, I would say that there is certain areas of the convention where it is quite more quiet. So there's an area kind of in a back hallway next to main events, and it would make sense if I had a map. Kind of kind of away from where there's a lot of foot traffic. Um, that I would say would probably be the best bet for a more quiet space. Like I said, I haven't had to experience that because I do have a hotel room in the Gaylord that I can always just hop back up to if I need it. So that is something you need to prepare for. And as terms of like general information, is there are, I would say that there are a lot of rumors about what KatsuCon actually is from people who don't normally go to KatsuCon. I've kind of been around the bush for so long. I've heard, it's just an elitist place where, people only care about you if you have a flashy cosplay and, only pay attention to you if you're a female cosplayer with big,
Yep.
And I'm just like, it maybe it is, but it is also a convention. It's definitely a convention where it is what you make it. If you go in thinking that it's going to be a miserable time, it's going to be a miserable time. If you go in thinking, hey, it's another convention where I get to chill with my friends and maybe get cool photos, then you're going to have a better time. Yeah, and, I would say other than that, I always try and communicate with my friends beforehand, and don't be afraid to talk to staff. That's just general con advice that I found. But I've had experience. I used to staff a convention, and I had experience of people saying, "Well, con staff's not going to do anything." It depends on what it is. Con staff can't do everything, but there are people on con staff who want you to enjoy the convention. So for example, I had a panic attack because my wallet had fallen out of my back pocket one time. And I couldn't find the lost and found. I finally found a security person, and they were able to take me to the lost and found area, which was really nice. So it's kind of just like stuff like that. And if you can't find a security person, as long as you're not creepy, I'm sure your fellow attendee would be able to help you too. If you're like trying to find your way to a panel room, or hey, where's this thing supposed to be at? I'm supposed to be there. Stuff like that. So, don't be afraid to talk to people. And I know that's borderline general con advice, but especially at KatsuCon, a lot of people bring a lot of cool costumes to KatsuCon, and you could always just be like, hey, can I take your picture? I like your cosplay. Did you make it or buy it, or and usually unless they're like running to a thing, or they're running on like 2 hours of sleep, which may or may not have happened. But yeah, just don't be afraid to try and make new friends.
Absolutely, love that advice. So it's why you go to conventions, connect with people, meet new friends, and all that good stuff. So I think that's really, really solid advice. So yeah, from what I heard, for places to rest, there's no like official like. One of these days I'll come up with a term for it, but there's no like a quiet area or a room or something. But like if you have a hotel room nearby or you need to go out to your car, that's pretty much the only places folks might be able to step out if they need a minute. So try and look out for people. Let me see. I don't think I have anything else to say. I don't think so, other than hydrate with water, bring water. Take breaks. Make sure you have fun. Lots and lots of fun.
Get sleep.
Get sleep.
Don't
Yes.
Don't do 6 cosplays in a day.
Oh, space it out. Cosplay break. So maybe that'll be topic of conversation. So different one. Alrighty. So I'm gonna turn it over. Did you have anything else you wanted to add? Any questions?
Nope.
Awesome sauce. Alrighty, so real quickly, I do want to say thank you. It's Kat for joining because now you are a official tea sipper. So woo-hoo, you get all the special tea sipper perks and all that fun jazz. So yay! Get all of that. So be sure to check out lovely guests here with us today. Make sure you check out Cosplay Tea Time. Make sure you follow all the links and support and everything. Do not delay. Do not get into that dreaded con crunch or anything like that. So, but we hope that everyone is taking care, staying safe, and keep sipping away. Bye, everyone.